What should I... Oh, I've woken the dog up. Let me just tilt that forward. That's better. Hi. So, we've just been to Disneyland Paris. Today is Tuesday. So we went on Friday last week and came back on Sunday night. But Friday morning, came back on Sunday night. Then we've been in uni yesterday and today. Yeah, I'm just sitting down to edit the vlog. So I just thought I would pop on at the start and say that I didn't really vlog the weekend, if I'm honest, like how I usually would, but I did film a few little clips, so I've probably got like a little montage to put after this clip, but it's not your typical Disney vlog, so I'm just putting that out there right now. So if you want to turn off, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, so just wanted to say that really, and I just wanted to kind of briefly say how the trip was, any like thoughts and feelings that we had. Becky's currently at work, so I can't really say speak for Becky, although I kind of can at the same time because I know she kind of thinks the same things as me. But we had a really good time. It was like a completely different trip to what we've done in the past year or so on all the other trips that we've done, because obviously in the past 2 years we've done a girls trip with Joe and Asher, we've done a girls trip at Halloween with my cousins, we did a girls trip with just Joe at Easter, and then me and Becky just did a trip on our own in the summer. And obviously when we went in the summer last, it was so hot, we were in shorts and vest tops, and then we've just been at the weekend with my mum and it was freezing, like so cold. I don't think I've ever visited Disney when the weather's been that cold before. Me and Becky were actually there 9 years ago on the same dates. It was quite weird, it was coming up on time hop. It was actually there 9 years ago at the same time, but I remember that trip that we did 9 years ago was nowhere near as cold as it was at the weekend. But anyway, it was still really good. We just made sure that we wore lots of layers. We had like thermal tops on underneath jumpers, and we had a coat, had gloves on, we had hats on. Yeah, I mean, it didn't ruin it whatsoever, but it was just a lot colder than we thought it was going to be. But yeah, no, it was absolutely fine. Yeah, and then the trip was really good. It was a lot busier than I thought it was going to be. Like I just said, we went on the exact same dates 9 years ago, and when we went 9 years ago in January, it was dead. I can't even explain to you how quiet it was. I remember obviously at the time we didn't have a disability pass for Becky, we was just queuing regularly, and I remember us doing Big Thunder back to back 5 times in a row, walking straight on every single time. That was 9 years ago, obviously. Yeah, and then obviously this past weekend it was a lot busier than it had been 9 years ago. Because I'd experienced Disney in January before, I just assumed it was going to be quiet. I knew it was probably going to be a little bit busier than it was in the past, but it was probably not that far off being just as busy as it was in the summer or at Easter. I'd probably say it was more on par with the crowd levels that we had at Easter with Joe than it was the summer. The summer was very, very busy. But yeah, so yeah, that was that. Like for example, things like Crush's Coaster was still at like 180-minute wait, even though it was January and it's not the school holidays or anything. Big Thunder was averaging at around a 45-minute wait the whole time we were there, unless it was like late at night, then it did drop down to like 15 minutes in the evening. And things like Phantom Manor, half an hour to 45-minute wait. You know, all the popular stuff. I think Peter Pan's Flight was averaging at about an hour, like 60 to 100 minutes the whole time we were there as well. Yeah, so which for January I thought was just busier than I was expecting. But anyway, it didn't really affect us because obviously we have the DAS pass, so it didn't affect us really. But yeah, we tried Victoria's for the first time on this trip, which I thought was really nice. I've never been in there before. I hold my hands up, like I didn't actually even know where it was until our trip in the summer last year, I'd always seen pictures of people putting it up on Instagram and stuff, and I was always like, I don't know where this is, I don't think I've ever seen it. And then I made a point of like looking out for it in the summer last year. So then this weekend I was like, I want to try it because I've seen people try it and it looks really nice. So we tried Victoria's and highly recommend it. They don't do like proper food in there. It's more of like kind of like afternoon tea, but not afternoon tea, if that makes sense, because it's just pretty much cakes, waffles, you can get the Mickey waffle in there, and then like tea, coffee, soft drinks, and then like one of the main things that people go in there for is the glass of champagne. So it's kind of like on an afternoon tea vibe, but not an afternoon tea because you don't get like sandwiches and shit. Yeah, so that was Victoria's. The only literally the only thing that I would moan about from the weekend, and it's not necessarily a massive moan, but it's definitely something that I wanted to mention on the vlog, is that we did go to the Manhattan restaurant on Friday, on our first night that we was there for tea. As you guys know, we tried Manhattan for the first time in our Easter trip last year, and then me and Becky also went again in the summer. Absolutely loved it both times. It's quite a I want to say posh restaurant. It's not posh. It gives off vibes that it could be posh, but no one dresses up in there or anything. It's very casual. But the menu is definitely more upmarket than just your standard restaurant, if that makes sense. They try to make the menu more kind of a la carte than just your bog standard menu. Anyway, Becky has always ordered the same meal every time we've been. So obviously this was our third time in this restaurant in a year. Easter, she got lasagna. We all had lasagna actually at Easter. All loved it, really nice. She had it again in August. I didn't have it that time. She had it again in August. Again, really, really good. She ordered it on Friday, and it came, and it just looked nothing like the other two lasagnas that she had the previous two times. And it looked like, you know, like obviously lasagna is in like layers, isn't it? It's like a pasta sheet, and then you've got like the minced tomato layer, then you have like the white sauce, then you have another layer of pasta, and that's how it should be. And then you usually have like a cheese top that's like all like grilled sort of thing, and the other two looked like that. This one that she had on Friday looked like they'd kind of shoved it all in the thing and like mixed all the layers up, and it genuinely just looked disgusting. It kind of looked a bit grey and Becky said it just didn't taste very nice. She gave it a good go and she was like, it just didn't taste nice. But she thinks it didn't taste nice because they'd like mixed all the layers into one, so then the white sauce and the tomato sauce layer had all kind of combined into one, so then made the colouring go a bit funny, if that makes sense. There was definitely no like cheese top to it sort of thing. Yeah, so we did flag it with the server and she just said, I'm really sorry but I don't like it. And it was a little bit on the cold side. It wasn't freezing or anything like that, but it wasn't piping hot like how it should be, considering the lasagna actually comes in the dish that it goes in the oven in. So usually when you get a lasagna in the dish that's been in the oven in, it's like piping hot for ages and it takes ages to cool down, so it was clearly like been left out for a while. So anyway, she complained and just said, I don't like it. They did offer to make something else, but she said no, I'm okay. But they didn't offer to refund it off the bill or anything. All they said was, I will take your drink off the bill. So she had a pint of lager, I think it's the 1963 lager, which is like the premium lager that's in most of the restaurants in Paris. That was like €8 or €9 for a pint, and the lasagna was 30 euros. So all they did was they kept the lasagna on the bill and just took the €8-9 pint off as an apology. So wasn't really best pleased with that service. The actual service as a whole throughout the restaurant was fine. My meal was fine, my mum's meal was fine, everything came out in time, we weren't waiting for anything, everyone was friendly and everything, but that's just one little blip that I kind of wanted to mention. And I think because of that we probably won't go to Manhattan anytime soon. Obviously we're going back in Easter, so we've only got another 2 or 3 months until we go back. I don't think we'll be going there on the next trip. I mean, I don't think we was going to go anyway because Joe's little brother's coming with us, and I think it's a bit too posh for an 8-year-old. I know it's got a kids menu, but I still think it was just a bit posh for him. But I think regardless of whether he was coming with us or not, I think that's now put us off going back to the Manhattan restaurant, which is a shame. And I wanted to mention it because I didn't want to come on here and be like, oh, everything was amazing, when there was that little issue. Not a massive issue, but yeah, just wanted to mention it. Yeah, but that's it. I can't think of anything else to report, if I'm honest. They did randomly on Saturday not do the Dream and Shine show, and like did the adapted like parade version instead that they were doing in the summer. We're not 100% sure whether that's because of anything in particular, like the weather, or whether it was a staffing issue. I've no idea, because in terms of the weather, I can't really see how the weather, it was kind of trying to snow on and off, so I don't know whether that impacted it, but I thought I would let you guys know that if you're going soon, because obviously when we went in August, the amount of times we tried to watch the Dream and Shine show and they stopped it, but that's because it was so hot, which I completely get, because trying to dance in like 30-degree heat isn't pleasant. But yeah, it was like -2 over the weekend, so I don't know whether it was because it was too cold, I don't know. But yeah, we did get to watch it though. We did get to see it twice. We saw it on Friday and then we saw it on Sunday just before we were leaving the park to go back to the airport. So it was on plenty of times, but yeah, we just noticed Saturday afternoon that the show times ended up turning into just the parade and not actually stopping to do the show, which was a bit random. And then I've just thought of one more thing that I wanted to say and I can't remember what it was. What was it? Oh, and one more thing. We did actually already know this before we went, because we'd learnt it through Instagram and through like Sam for God's YouTube channel. I don't know if any of you guys watch Sam for God, but she's very good for finding out Disneyland Paris specific information. She's a little bit like the Tim Tracker of Disneyland Paris. That's the best way I can describe Sam for God. She's a very informative channel. She's always in Disneyland Paris. Anyway, so we'd already found this out because of her before we went. One thing I did think I would mention is that a lot of the quick service locations, like for example we like to get the Mickey pizza, usually the meal deal is that you get the pizza, a side which is either you choose a side salad or you choose a side of garlic bread, a soft drink, so like a bottle of water or like a fountain drink like Coke, Sprite, Fanta, whatever, and then usually in the past you'd also get either a Magnum ice cream, or you could choose a fruit pot or a yogurt, and that would all be for €16. They've now got rid of the dessert aspect of the meal deal, so you can no longer get a Magnum yogurt or fruit pot. It's now just like the pizza, the side and the drink, but it's still €16. So that's a little bit annoying because the price hasn't changed, but they've taken away some of the food. So really you'd think the price would have gone down, but I guess instead of them having to raise the price, they've just taken food away, so hoping maybe people wouldn't notice. But obviously us guys who go all the time are going to notice. So I mean, we didn't necessarily want the dessert because we did have pizza on Sunday for lunch. You don't necessarily always want the dessert because it is quite a lot of food, like a full pizza, a side and a dessert and a drink. It is quite a lot, but it's just a bit cheeky, isn't it? But I suppose they've got to make money, they're a business. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop waffling now. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy this little mini montage of our weekend away in Disneyland Paris. Fourth time lucky.
I've not got my travel belt. It's tomorrow. I'll have to meet you again tomorrow.
Hello. Brilliant. Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Hi guys. I just thought I'd pop on whilst my mum's in the toilet. Hi. We are in Disneyland Paris. This is just going to be a kind of a bit of a mishmashy vlog. Like, it's not going to have much structure to it. But as you guys just saw, we've just met Donald. We just met Donald. Fourth time lucky. We've not seen him since February 2020 and we've been here 3 times since and he's not been out once. So, very happy. Very happy, aren't we? Yeah.
Been a while.
Here we are in Disneyland Paris, so we're on day 2 now. This is Saturday. Haven't really vlogged much, but yeah,
Not being able
yeah. Plus it's kind of hard to vlog with my mum because she does not stop talking. Like, she literally never shuts up. So it's hard to like speak and she'll just be chatting in the background. Anyway, we're on Saturday. We've just been in the Studios Park. It's about 11:30. My mum came on Big Thunder with us yesterday, but she's decided she doesn't want to come on it today. She was like, it is alright, it's alright. I think it's a little bit fast for her. So she's just waiting with the bag. So me and Becky are going to come on this. Then we're going to go and watch the Lion King show. Yeah, then we're going to go and watch the Lion King show. And I'm gonna do some vlogging clips today, but it'll be more than montage than us properly filming. But yeah, time for Big Thunder and Becky style. Woo!